Assalamu alaikum, bro.
Walaikum assalam, how you doing?
How are you? Good.
Alhamdulillah, how's everything?
Good, alhamdulillah. So, tell me this. Tomorrow's November 6th, right? Tuesday. It's election day here in the U.S. And you had a role in the community last week. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Houston Muslim Get Out the Vote Day. First time ever that it was initiated. An idea I think can be replicated even at all major cities across the nation, where on one day, one time, Muslims are showing, their voice that's being heard. And I think it was a powerful initiative, and I think that it can be something where it can be implemented, annually, every election, the presidential election, every midterm.
So tell me, how successful was it?
It was,
honestly.
Yeah, it was like half and half. Okay. The bigger masajids, Bear Creek, Maria Masjid, Cypress Islamic Center, had a successful turnout. Other masjids, whether it was because of either the marketing time or just communication. One masjid, we heard that the lead there said that the community members were not interested in voting.
Okay.
This one masjid, and I was, very shocked, and he himself was shocked that, I'm trying to get, all these people to vote, and these people were saying, like, we're not interested because of XYZ reason.
Sure.
Other masjids, just different things were going on. A lot of masjids had actually been promoting early voting, and so they had already voted, because 1 week of early voting had already passed, and then Sunday was Houston Muslim Get Out the Vote Day. So there were actually a few masjids that have already done voting. Others were, there was just no turnout. And so I think it's something that, can be done repeatedly, will continue to grow and continue to get the Muslim community out.
It was your idea?
No, it was my friend's idea. Cool. Omar Bawani. Okay. Shout out to Omar.
Sure, we'll take him.
Yeah. he had a great idea.
Sure, good.
Just me and him.
Okay.
And then we, got together, organizations, built a coalition. I think that's the best way to go about, anything citywide. Sure. You want to make sure that everyone has a piece, everyone has something that they're benefiting from, and I think having that unity was the best part. Because that without strength, then everything's gonna fall apart.
How would you do it better next time? Let's say 2 years from now, you're gonna do something. What would you do better? What would you do differently?
Definitely, I think getting more leaders involved, Houston Muslim leaders. I think even non-Muslim leaders. I was even thinking when I called Bawani one day when he first told me about the idea that night, called him back. I was like, you know what? Like, let's scrap this idea. Let's do a rally. Like, one day we'll do a huge rally. We get all the Muslim imams together. We get leaders. We get Congress people. We get the mayor.
We get Sean King.
Yeah, we get Sean King, our activists. Everyone speak, rally, and then we go to the polls right after.
Okay, I like it.
And actually, the day we did Houston Muslim Get Out the Vote Day, I found out that the candidate for District 7, Lizzie Fletcher, did a rally with Congressman Sheila Jackson and Congressman John Lewis from Atlanta. And they did a rally and then marched literally across the street, because our office was across the street from the voting center. And they went straight to the poll.
Were you saying Congressman Lewis was in Houston?
Yeah, last
I didn't even hear
weekend.
About this.
He went with Beto, Lena Hidalgo, Lizzie Fletcher.
The video that went viral where he's like, "Go vote."
No, I think that was a different place.
In Georgia somewhere, right?
Yeah, that was in Georgia.
He's like, I spilled blood on that bridge in Selma.
Yeah,
I'm not telling you to spill blood. Just go vote. I love that. I was sharing it, but
yeah.
I didn't know. Yeah, okay. So he was here in Houston. I had no idea.
Yeah,
I'd love to meet him one day.
Powerful man.
And people like him to run for president.
Yeah.
He's the natural leader of our
most
country,
definitely,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anyways, do you want to say anything else about the elections? Anything about tomorrow? Anything about the candidates, the policies, our community? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that especially after 2016, we all felt the heat. When Trump was elected, and I was a junior in high school, and that day, right after, everyone was very gloomy. Everyone, my history teacher, I remember that was the class that I remember everything. Like, she, was just so overwhelmed by the fact that this was a reality. And I think, what we're seeing now is a complete turnaround. That America had to hit a dip, for people, minority groups, for people who are being persecuted, to stand up, and truly voice themselves, and we're seeing 500% or more youth voter turnout. That's amazing. Early voting, spiking numbers, has broken all previous records. Texas, a state lowest voter turnout, is now breaking that all these records, and I think that, you know, it's not because of, you know, that, you know, it's just all of a sudden, you know, we just want to vote. There's the socio-political climate is driving people to become more active, to become organized, to speak for others, and I think that's empowerment. I think that's real change that we're driving towards, and I think that it shows a lot of potential, especially in youth, you know, that are in our generation. I think, you know, we're shaping the leaders of tomorrow.
I love it. I have to say one thing. You're lucky you were in high school that you couldn't vote.
Yeah.
It was the hardest multiple choice test I've ever had to take. I almost vomited, dude.
Wow.
Afterwards, I was like, dude, that was my first time voting. I was like, what did I just do?
Yeah.
I was like, two horrible candidates.
It's crazy.
Two worst candidates.
Right.
I was like, what am I doing? But it wasn't a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that Trump won was a shock. Right? He wasn't supposed to win. Very few people called it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, what do you think?
Of what?
Who do you think is gonna win tomorrow?
Tomorrow, man. If I think as far as statewide goes, Beto, I think very strong and
You think he's gonna win?
yeah, very strong campaign.
Like, look, it's recorded, right? I think Cruz is gonna win.
You think so?
Yeah, that's my prediction.
I really don't
So
know.
I don't bet.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do? I don't bet.
Mm-hmm.
What are we gonna do? You're saying Beto, I'm saying Cruz. Push-ups? 50 push-ups for the one who loses, yeah?
All right. Might have to record another new segment. 50
Or
push-ups.
just the fact that it's recorded and the person loses is enough, right?
Yeah. There you go.
Shaming, public shaming.
Shaming rights, bragging
Or
rights.
bragging rights for the one
Yeah.
who wins. Yeah, I think Cruz. I read a somewhat of a long article this morning. Actually, usually they're a lot shorter,
Right.
but this was. I think it was worth it. And the analysis was basically, the conclusion was that if he loses, and most likely he will, it's going to be because of one main factor. He was able to. He did an excellent job of organizing and encouraging and motivating, inspiring those on the left that already agree with him. But he didn't do a very good job of. Didn't even put in the effort trying to persuade and convince those on the right or in the middle to vote for him. When the fact is that not every Republican agrees with Trump, Cruz, etc. That ideology, that mentality.
Yeah.
But he didn't do much of convincing the other Republicans, traditional Republicans, that didn't necessarily think Cruz and Trump are the best candidates. Then convince them that, you know, he's moderate enough, or he's centrist enough, or he's good for Texas. He didn't do much of that. He kind of ignored them. He just spoke to his crowd. So even if it was big numbers, and even though he was very energetic and went everywhere and spoke very well, he basically didn't speak to them. Right, big cities versus the rural, and because of that he's going to lose. And I was like, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I think regardless if he loses, I don't know for sure that I don't like strongly support that he will win or predict that necessarily. But I think even if he does not win, his visibility is beyond, you know, anything, right?
Winning is not the only way to win.
And in the future, or in the things that he'll try to pursue, I think he'll have a strong likelihood of you know, pursuing whatever he wants to do. Whether, you know, if he loses, could a lot of people who have been saying his name, although he hasn't publicly announced it, running for president 2020, you know.
You can lose your state and win the country.
Right.
Because Texas is
Exactly.
tough for him as a Democrat.
Yeah.
I agree. And let's also hope. You're right though, about even if he doesn't win, doesn't mean it's a loss. I'm hoping that if he does lose, that it's going to be such a close margin that Republicans around the country, and especially Texas,
Will be
have to
shocked.
think about rebranding, have to think about their rhetoric, have to think about their policies, and be like,
Right.
yo, this isn't. That's a success. That's a win.
Yeah.
But by the way, about the analysis from experts saying that like he didn't speak well enough to the conservatives, he's in Texas and he kind of ignored them. And they're more than 50%. I almost called it. Like, I don't want to say like, oh, this is my video.
Yeah.
I'm saying like I called it. Like, I'm not an expert.
Right.
But I kind of had that feeling, and I sent an email to his campaign after meeting. I met him and some of his campaign people. And I told them I wanted to send him an email. Maybe we could do an interview. And they said, of course, we don't have time for that. I'm not on their priority list.
Right.
I want to do something like this with Beto. I thought, there's nothing to lose. I asked. They said we don't have the time. But I said, if I ask questions, can you answer them? They said yes, and they didn't get back to me in time. Right. So it's too late. But I sent them a list of questions, and I said, these are the kind of discussions that I'm having with my friends that are conservatives. Because I don't spend much time talking to those who I know are like, for example, they're Latinos who always vote blue. I don't have to convince them about Beto.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
They're Latino Texans.
You want to know the
Their parents
other
came
side.
from Mexico, for example. A good number of my friends.
Yeah.
Right, and they're very liberal on all the issues and stuff. I don't have to convince them to vote for Beto, right? But my friends who always vote Republican and they're Texan. Let's say they're middle to upper class white Texan. You get the point, right?
Yeah,
Different
of course.
crowd,
Yeah.
different demographic. I have discussions with them, and I'm trying to convince them of Beto, or at least to be kind of towards the middle center, or at least question their views on Trump and Cruz and so on. I came up with a list of questions that I thought that they have for someone who's running for senator of Texas, not just for the left, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't get back to me on these answers, but what the experts were saying was similar, is that he didn't spend enough time addressing these issues.
Right.
Except, and we talked about this before
Yeah.
the video, he did have an excellent answer to why do we support the fact that people were kneeling during the
Right,
anthem, and
right.
why is that not un-American? He killed it, but that's one example where he didn't do enough of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is what it is. Can't do everything perfectly.
Yeah. No, of course.
But I mean, in another sense, though, on the positive side, he had one of the best campaigns in the history of the U.S. on many levels.
He had
Road
I believe
tax,
I think the one of the biggest rallies I think post Obama. I think that was tremendous. And also I was having the same conversation with someone from work, and I was saying that he spent getting the emails from his campaign, and he spent majority of his time in the metropolitan areas, and he's traveled all 254 counties. But I think he needs to spend more time going back. I don't know how much he is revisiting those counties that are all pro-Trump or all pro-Republican, because I think he's
Houston again and again is not that beneficial.
Right, because everyone is the same.
Yeah.
If anything, you're getting more popular within Houston, but you've already won Houston, you've already won Austin, you've already won Dallas. Go back and win those other counties.
It's tough. You go to like a very right-wing, let's say, church group, just as an example, or not to bash on Christians or anything. You go to this group and you know for a fact that they love Trump and they love Cruz, and for example, I know they don't all, not all Texan Christians do, but that group, I'm saying, for him, if he goes and speaks to that audience, it's rough. It's not easy.
Yeah.
He's a human being.
He's
It's very
being
tough to
challenged.
go against a crowd that you know that are very much against you. Like, how do you persuade them?
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're going to be senator of Texas, you had to do that.
Yeah, I think his humility and I think his genuineness, right? That no one does that. No one thinks out of the blue, I'm gonna go travel every county unless you believe as a leader that you're gonna serve the people of Texas. And I think that anyone who is in any leadership position, they should hold themselves to that standard, that they go and meet every single person that they're representing, that they're voicing those that even are against them, because that's how you're gonna grow as a leader. That if you are elected, no matter what, you're going to serve the ones that were against you from the beginning. And so it's a matter of you listening to their concerns, listening to what things they oppose, what things they want for their locality, and you have to you have to listen, and you have to be that ear and bring change in whatever way.
Thank you so much. Well,
Yeah,
this is good.
no problem, man.
Hopefully
Of
the first
course.
of many. We got to have you back again.
Inshallah. Sounds good.